Alright everybody, my name is Lloyd Hannison from the Nerd Nest. Today we're taking a first look at Game Builder Garage on the Nintendo Switch. This game just dropped. Nintendo's been talking about it for a while. I'm going to turn that music down just a tiny bit. And if you're not familiar, Game Builder Garage is a game where you can build your own games. If you've played any of the Labo stuff, they had a Labo Garage where you could go in and make your little games just by dragging and dropping things, doing visual programming. This is that, but times 1,000 by the looks of it. But having just booted it up for the first time, not really sure if that is the case. So let's jump in. Let's go through some of the lessons, and we'll take a first look at this one. If you're not familiar with our first looks here on Nerd Nest, I usually do 15, 20, 30 minutes. We'll just see kind of where the game takes us, because each game's a little bit different. And yeah, without much further ado, let's jump into Game Builder Garage. All right, so this is teaching me how to use the in. Why can't I hit B to jump? Oh, here it is. Hey, looks like you need some help. What's with that weird look? Oh yeah, talking dot. Kind of strange. Got it. I should introduce myself. You can call me Bob. Glad that's out of the way. Let me just say, I understand your frustration. You can't finish this simple game, right? You can't jump by pressing B, so you can't reach the apple. But there's a good reason for all that. You see? The thing is, this game is still under construction. The way it is now, you'll never beat the game, no matter how many times you try to jump. In situations like this, I like to say, don't get mad, get programming. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to do a deep dive into this game to wrap things up. We need to take a peek behind the curtain, so to speak. So why don't we do that right now? All right, could you press this? All right, I'm gonna hit plus. Oh wow, look at that. Ooh, if it isn't our Bob, good to see you, dear. Hey, Bob. Woohoo, hi Bob, boing. Why did they have to personify everything? Welcome to the inside of the game, Dasmy. I'm gonna turn off my camera for a little bit while I'm doing this, just because I'm covering up a big chunk of the screen. So you want to know about our friends here. These beings are called Nodons. There are all kinds of different Nodon living inside your Nintendo Switch console. If you call up Nodon on this here program screen, then connect them together, and pow, you're actually altering the game's programming. This place where we use Nodon to do programming has a nifty little name. It's called the Game Builder Garage. Hey, they said the thing. That's the name of the thing, and they said the thing. That little fragment of a game you played earlier was programmed in the Game Builder Garage. But let's get down to business. We'll use the Game Builder Garage to finish this game. What's with that blank look? Well, it's because my camera's off there, Bob. You're going to use programming to finish building this game. It's not as daunting as it might sound. All we need to do is make it so pressing B lets you jump. See the output port on this button Nodon? Just connect it to the jump port on the person Nodon. Heyo, I'm button Nodon. I know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to push the button like pow. I'm kind of a genius about stuff like that. Hi there, I'm person Nodon. Nice to meet you. You saw the little character on the game screen, right? I put that character there, and I help it move around. Now hold down A and move the cursor to jump. Presto, we've made it so pressing B makes the character jump. We should be able to complete the game. Why don't we head back to the game screen and give it a try? All right, I'll hit plus. Hey, I can jump now. Oh, jeez. I can really jump. Okay. I fail. I fail at Nodon programming. I got it. You did a great job. You got to finish building a game with a bit of programming. Well then, why don't we pop back to the program screen? So what do you think? It's fun learning how to program a game, right? Actually, I think this might have, I think you might have a real knack for this. How about it? Do you want to program some more games? If you do, then maybe you'd be interested in your new pal Bob's interactive lessons. Just like now, you'd go through programming all kinds of games with me as your guide. And by the end, you'll have what you need to make your own game all by yourself. So how about it? Do you feel like taking some of Bob's patented interactive lessons? Sure, let's do a lesson. Perfect. In that case, I've got an awesome bunch of games for you. Let's take a look. All right, interactive lessons. We'll be making 7 games in these interactive lessons. In the first lesson, we'll make Tag Showdown, which is just a simple game of tag. Next, we'll use some unique features of the Nintendo Switch console in On a Roll. Lesson 3 is the auto-scrolling blaster game Alien Blaster. In the game for the 4th lesson, we'll jump, run, and punch our way to the goal in Risky Run. These actually look kind of cool. And the fifth lesson is a game called Mystery Room, and we'll be solving 3-dimensional puzzles. For the 6th lesson, we'll make a computer-controlled car to race against in the White Knuckle Thrill Racer. And last but not least, in lesson 7, we'll make a 3D action game, Super Person Worlds. All right. By learning to program games like the ones I just mentioned, you'll learn the skills to make your very own games. Okay then, I'll be waiting for you in the first lesson. Be sure to pay a visit. I've been the ever-knowledgeable Bob. See you later. All right, Bob. Thank you. Oh, hang on a sec. My name is Alice. So, not Bob. He's the excitable one you already met. I look similar, but I'm Alice. How do you do? Please don't forget to call me call me Bob or anything like that. So, Dasmy, you know how you got the game to work just now? Be honest, you don't really get what made it work, right? I mean, that's just totally fine. You just started with all this stuff. But you know, if you're going to make your own game, you need to understand which mechanisms do what. That's why I've set up some checkpoints to help you. I'd like you to come to the checkpoint before lesson 1. I'll be waiting. All right. So I beat Programming 101. Oh, but what's this? This looks like a checkpoint. Oh, so I can't actually select any of these things until I go to the checkpoint. All right, let's do the checkpoint. Thanks for stopping by. Just in case you forgot, I'm Alice. Don't really care what your name is, Alice. And this here is a checkpoint. The idea here is to test whether you really know your programming stuff. And how do we test? With a puzzle. Maybe this is a bit sudden, throwing a puzzle at you and expecting you to solve it, but let's see how this goes. All right, Game Builder Garage, the basics. All right, I can probably turn my camera on again. Okay, why is Alice's Guide? I have something for you that I think will help. Your very own Alice's Guide. This will give you further tips on how to use Nodon to make games. Can you select this here? It'll open the Alice's Guide list. Okay, I can do that. Why not use it to learn the basics of Game Builder Garage? Game Builder Garage, the basics. All right, Alice, let's get going. Okay, lend me your ears and I'll give you the basics of Game Builder Garage. The screen you're looking at now is called the game screen. As the name suggests, this is where the game you've programmed will play out. Here we have the person objects. Try pressing B. He jumped. Wow, does he ever jump? And you can control the height by holding the button down longer. But what made the person jump exactly? Let me take you through it in Game Builder Garage Basics. Let's take a peek around the back and see the other side of the game, the program screen. Hey peeps. Oh, it's that programmer again. Heyo, I remember you. Dasmy, right? I'm going to turn my camera off because I'm going to be covering a bunch of the stuff. Looking forward to bashing some buttons with you. So here we are at the program screen. This is where we'll program our game with the help of a host Nodon. That's right, when it comes to programming, we're here to help peeps. Each Nodon has its own special function within a setup. Watching out for when a button gets pressed, we button Nodon have that covered. As for us person Nodon, I'm the one that puts the person out there on the game screen. That's right, the person that you saw back there was the person Nodon's doing. It's nice when people acknowledge my work. Take a note of the position of the person Nodon on the program screen here. The location of the person node on determines the location of the person on the game screen. Oh, really? For example, if you were to move me over to the right of the program screen, the person will appear over to the right side of the game screen. Okay, interesting. Let's try it out. Grab the frame and move it over. How do you think? Okay, I've moved. How do you think it looks on the game screen? Let's go. Ah, so he's over here. So take note. The program screen is the place where we position things that appear in the game screen, like objects or characters. Okay, head back to the program screen so I can school you some more. Another thing to know about the program screen is you can scroll it to find more space. I've disabled the scrolling before, though. I thought it might have made things confusing. Now that scrolling's enabled, try moving L to put the pointer outside the screen. There we go. Wow, it can go pretty darn far. Wow. Okay. You can just keep going. Now you know how to get around the program screen. Now try moving R up and down while holding Z, L, or ZR. Ah, you can zoom in and out. Interesting. Okay, I did that. That's another way to zoom in and out. I thought it might get confusing if the screen was moving around here in my guide, so I disabled it. But I think this feature will really come in handy when you're building your own games. So let's put the screen back to how it was before. Okay, all done. Back to the main topic. I wanted to tell you about how to make the person jump. If you remember, pressing B made the person jump when we were on the game screen. These lines here represent the connections. You linked them up a while back, right? Yeah, I get all this. Can I skip this? I guess I can't. I'm watching out for anyone pressing B. I got you covered. Anyone presses B, and I immediately send a signal to the person node on via the connection. Thanks for handling that. To understand the signal, try thinking of a very simple message that passes along a wire. Now pay attention to exactly which part of me is connected to the button node on. See here where it says jump? When I get my signal at my jump port, that's my cue to make the person jump on the game screen. Simple, right? Because we work together, the person jumps when you press B. Allow me to sum it up. You don't have to. I get it. The button node on's job is to keep watch for B being pressed. When B is pressed, the button node on sends a signal from its output port to the input port of the person node on, which is the jump port. I'm going to skip through because I get all this. It's easy when you know how. Remove the connection between the node on and see what happens. Let's go to the game screen to see what changed. Well, I can't jump anymore. Go back to the program screen. That's right. If there's no connection, then the signal won't reach the person node on when B is pressed. That's why the person didn't jump when you press B. Could you reconnect the button node on? Yes, I can. There it is. I'm getting a signal from the button node on again. Connecting a node on together is one of the most important parts of Game Builder Garage. In fact, I'd say it's the most fundamental aspect of working with node on, so remember that. Okay, let's check out the game screen. Press B to make the person jump. Okay, on the other side, the node on are toiling away to make the program work. Once you understand how things work in the background, you really start to look at them differently, huh? That's what makes programming fun. Okay, back to the program screen. All right, camera back off. I don't think I'm gonna have my camera on for the rest of the video. You remember us, don't you? I was just there. I was seeing a lot of us if you're gonna be building games. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I can hardly contain myself. All right. Did you get the hang of the Game Builder Garage basics? Then could you press B to close Alice's guide list? Now I'm going to test your knowledge of the basics with a puzzle challenge. Go here and try your hand at the puzzle challenge. I really like how they teach you all the little tiny aspects, even if it's super small and you totally get it. This is going to be super important for a lot of people that maybe are new to programming, especially visual programming. Visual programming is kind of new in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of programs that allow you to build apps and other stuff just by dragging and dropping things and typing in a small amount of code. So it totally makes sense why they would go over things over and over and over and over again, just to kind of drill it into your brain. So yeah, this is going to be the intro, so it's going to be super easy, and there's not much you can do about that. All right, here's where I'll be putting you through your paces with some puzzles to make sure you've grasped the basics of Game Builder Garage. To clear the puzzle, you need to make the person collect the apple. How are you gonna get it, I wonder? Gee, I wonder. Let's press plus. I can't do it. As things are, there's nothing you can do to make the person move. You'll need to make a change if you want to get that apple. In fact, you'll need to do some programming all by yourself. Okay, go to the program screen. Keep in mind, you can't just edit whatever you feel like in the puzzles. The only way you're permitted to solve the particular problem is by connecting the button node-on to the person node-on. So how do you think you can help the person get the apple? When you think you've made the necessary change, head over to the game screen to test it out. If it doesn't work, just head back to the program screen and try again. Okay, give it your best shot. Alright, so I'm going to press button B. And I'm going to put it to forward backwards. And we'll see what happens. So if I hit B, if I hit B, I walk off. Okay, so that makes total sense. That's kind of what I expected would happen. So if I go here to action, what does that do? So if I hit B, I hold a pose. All right. So we'll go from B to jump. I wonder if I can I get details about? Let's see. What are the settings? Oh, settings for a person. This is cool. So visible, solid, movable, destructible, destructive, other, blue. You can't change any of this, obviously, because I'm in a test, but frame of reference for motion, camera. Oh, I wish I could drop that down. I'm going to finish this real fast. There we go. And then I'm going to try to dig a little bit deeper to see kind of what, because the character is an object, and the object has ins and outs, inputs and outputs. But I wonder what the specifics, so you can make one object different than another object. That's where things are going to get interesting. Awesome. Looks like you definitely have the basics of Game Builder Garage down. From now on, I'll be testing how well you know Game Builder Garage and the node-on. So between each lesson, I'll test you with some checkpoints. Also, I'll be adding some things to my guide every now and then. That's Alice's guide to you. So if there's anything not clear, feel free to hit up Alice's guide. Now there's nothing holding you back, so let's get to lesson 1. All right, checkpoint 1 done, programming 101 done. Now they want to do tag showdown. About 40 minutes to complete. Oh, okay. So 40, 50, 70, 80, 60, 90. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Oh, I can't go to free programming yet. Dang. Dang. Okay, well let's do some tag showdown. Oh, okay. There's 7 steps to this lesson, I guess. We'll do a little of this, and then I think that'll be it. Hey, Desmi. I'm so glad you made it. Welcome to Interactive Lessons. Just in case you forgot, I'm Bob. All right, Bob. And I can't wait to start working with you. Well, it's a day to remember because you're going to make your very first game. Tag Showdown. So whoever walks into the character first wins, and then there's random objects that spawn that will hurt you as well. Okay, that makes sense. This is a game. In this game, a tagger will chase after a runner while dodging a torrent of rolling balls. Sounds fun already, right? And the slowdown game will be played out right here on the game screen. Of course, you can't play anything just yet. I mean, you haven't even programmed the game yet. From now on, the programming that you do on the program screen will be reflected right here on the game screen. Without further ado, let's head over to the program screen and start programming our game. All right, so we're sitting at 20 minutes. Okay, I got a little bit more time. That's perfect. This is where you'll call up node-on and program your game. First, let's get our player character up and running. For that, we need to call a person node-on. Select objects. Oh, look at all this stuff. Launch, destroy, tracked, tracked, world, game screen, connection, sensors, special objects, fancy objects, simple objects. Person, car, UFO. Okay, there's some pre-built things. That's pretty cool. Hello, peeps. I'm the person node on. Okay. Nice to see you. Now the programming starts. Okay. Great stuff. Time for me to step into the limelight, peeps. Okay, so what happened after we placed the person node on? Let's take a look at the game screen to find out. Okay, we got a guy that does nothing. When the person node on the program screen makes the person appear in the game screen. Clear enough, right? Next up, we'll want to be able to control our player character using the controller. Try moving the person with L now. It doesn't do anything. As you can see, the person isn't moving at all. This is where the programming comes in. Let's get our player character mobile. All right, we can take care of that now. Let's arrange for our buddy here to move with the left stick. If we want to move the player with the L, we need to call in the stick node on. Let's go to inputs, let's go to stick movements, let's go to left stick, left and right. Boing. Boing. I'm going to start answering everybody that asks me questions with that. I think that would be great. You're Dasmy, right? But you can't wait to move that control stick around. We'll need to link up the stick node on's output port to the left and right here. I wish you could skip the tutorial and just kind of do it yourself and then see what happens if you got it right. Because I'm going to add a button here, but I can't. Okay, let's see what's happening over on the game screen. All right. Bravo. Now with that covered, we can move on to something else. Wouldn't it be good if the person could jump when the button is pressed? Let's get jumping with B. Input. Move the stick node on to the blue frame. Okay. Then select inputs. Button press. B. Yo. I've already met you. Why do I need to meet you again? Call me button node on. I'm your button bashing buddy. Alliteration is fun. Hey, if it ain't my pal Dasmy. If buttons are getting bashed, I got it covered. Bop, bop, bop. All right, let's move this guy over here. And then let's node on to the jump. If that button gets bashed, I'll be sure to let you know. Thanks, bud. All right, time to check the game out. All right. When you're done testing that out, head back over to the game screen. Okay, guess what? You've cleared step 1. That was easy. In this step, we made it possible to move the person with the controller. In the next step, we'll get ready to build the level for our game of tag. I don't mind saying, I'm pretty excited about that. We're at 23 minutes. Okay, we can check out some of the next step to see what the making a level to play around with will look like. All right, Alice's guide has some more stuff, but let's make the floor and walls. Let's get right back to building our game of tag. But first, let's have a look back at what we've already done. Try using L and B to move the character. You got it. Thanks to your top-notch work in the last lesson, we can now move the player with the controller. This time around, we'll be building floors and walls that set the stage of our game of tag. We'll be making floors and walls, but first, we need to decide where we're going to put the entire level. How about in this space up here? That should do. I'm glad that's settled. Okay, now we need to make sure this area is shown on the game screen. But if we're going to do that, we'll need the help of the game screen node on. That's a new one. Let's go to Objects, Game Screen, Game Screen. Hello, darlings. I must say you're looking radiant today. So that's the game screen node on. Oh, and you must be Dasmy. Everyone's saying you're the next big thing. Well, thank you. But with you at the helm, this is going to be a simply stunning production. We're sure to rise to the very top, darling. If we make use of this game screen node on, we can determine which part of the program screen will be reflected on the game screen. I couldn't have put it better myself. Whatever I frame will appear vividly and thrillingly on the game screen. Let's make this game screen node on a little bit bigger. Drag this icon until the node on fits the blue frame exactly. Okay. Now let's take a look and see what's happening over on the game screen. Nothing. you see over on the program screen, the person node-on isn't surrounded by the game screen node-on. Let's head back and fix that. Okay, then let's move the person node-on. Wonderful. Now the person is in the limelight. The camera loves you. Be sure to get my good side. Okay, there's so much talk. I would be skipping all this if I was not recording a video. So, yeah. Let's see what changed. Uh-oh. Look, the person, we see the person reflected on the game screen, but not for long. But anyhow, we know whatever is surrounded by the game screen node-on the program screen will be reflected on the game screen just like you saw. But we're not in a great shape if our player character can't stay on the screen. The floor, we get obvious solution is a floor, of course. We'll of course need an object node-on to make the floor. So let's go to objects, simple objects, box. Hey yo, the name is object node-on. I mean, it's cute, but I don't like saying all these things all over. True than a name, object node-on are the node-on that makes objects appear on the game screen. Well, he's not wrong. I need to have like a grumpy voice for this guy. It sounds like a grumpy kind of guy. Okay, to the game screen. Oh. Oh, did you see that? Oh, sorry, I should mention, with nothing to keep them up, objects just drop right out of the screen. Let's head back to the program screen, and we'll fix it so the object doesn't fall out. First, select the object node-on. Go to the settings. You can make in the settings screen is where you can make all kinds of changes to the node-on. We'll need to adjust the properties. Settings, we'll adjust the property settings to fix the object so it doesn't fall anymore. Now disable the options movable, destructible, and destructive. Okay, so movable, destructive, and destructible. If that's done, we can close the settings screen. And head over to the game screen. Boom. There we go. Nice. The person isn't falling out of the screen either. Well, he is if I walk. Although, I'm not sure the floor is big enough. I bet the person feels a little uneasy up there. Head back to the program screen and we'll adjust the size. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Let's check it out. Awesome. The player won't fall off quite so easily now. The floor is doing its floor thing, but the color is kind of plain. Let's see what we can do to change the color too. Alright, to the program screen. We're going to select the object. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to color. Ooh. Here you can be able to choose what color you want for your objects. Let's try making it brown. Close the settings screen. Head to the game screen. Ah, there we go. We got wooden platforms now. And the floor is now brown. Awesome. Well, the floor is all taken care of, but if the player goes past the edge, he'll just fall off again. Perhaps some walls would make this better. Alright, program screen. Just like with the floor, we'll need to make use of object node-on to create the walls. Calling up more object node-on, changing the settings again. Sounds like hard work, right? So let's just save us some work and just copy the floor to make the walls. Ah, I like that. Alright, select this node-on, copy. That can be a wall, no problem. And we've copied the object node-on. Drag it to there. And then let's make it skinny and tall. Perfect. Now make a copy. And then just copy it over to the other edge. Okay, this is super handy. Ta-da! And the walls are complete. To the game screen. Alright. There we go. Okay. Some nice, safe brown walls. That's cool. No need to worry about how our player falling into the abyss now. Let's head back to the program screen. Let's see. Hereby declare step 2 complete. Good job. Well done. Good for you. Great work. Oh, it's so positive. I like this. In this step, we added a floor and some walls. In the next step, we'll add some platforms to complete the level. Bye for now. See you in step 3. Awesome. Well, you know what? This is actually really kind of fun. The ability to go in and just make changes and play around. Yeah, I'm digging this. And the fact that you can copy and paste. Oh, I didn't really mean to do that. Oops. I hit the wrong button. Let's go back. End. Yes. There we go. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. Oh, I still can't. I was hoping I could go to free programming so I could look around a little bit more. So anyway, I think that is going to about do it for the first look here of Game Builder Garage on the Nintendo Switch. This game is going to make it so that everyday people can make their own video games. And while the demos that they're showing are very, I don't know, easy and simple, I've seen other videos that were in the trailers that Nintendo put out where you can make some pretty advanced games. So there's going to be a way that you can download people's games, you can share your games. This is kind of like Mario Maker, except you're not just making a level, you're making the whole thing. I can see that this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun as people learn the tools, as Nintendo adds updates and things, because I'm sure they're going to add other functionality for different game types and things like that. And what I'm really hoping is that this gives us our own Little Big Planet here on the Nintendo Switch, and that people are actually playing with this, making games, and doing stuff like that, because it'll be cool to check out all the work that people are doing in Game Builder Garage. So anyway, that's going to about do it for me, Lloyd Hannison from the Nerd Nest. You can check out all the stuff that we do, nerdnest.tv. I host a Nintendo podcast. It's the longest running Nintendo podcast on the internet. It's been running since 2006. It's called Nintendo Pulse. You can check that out. You can check out all the other stuff that we do on nerdnest.tv. My partner, Bill, he hosts his own Nintendo podcast called Nintendo Switchcraft. So we got some Nintendo love going on the Nerd Nest. We're super excited for E3 and all that stuff as well. So make sure to hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the bell to get notified on all the videos that we put up on the Nerd Nest channel on YouTube. So anyway, that's going to do it for me, Lloyd Hannison from the Nerd Nest. Take it easy, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.